Hi,
Hey, what's up?
how are you?
Very good. Shining. How are you doing?
I'm good. Where are you
What?
at? At home.
No, studio.
Nice.
See? The
Cute.
plants and everything. Later, if you want, I can do the studio tour
Nice.
for you.
You should take us on a tour one day.
No, we can take on a physical tour, but if you want, I can show you around
We can take a
later.
virtual tour.
Oh yeah, can. If you go to Google Maps and you type in all is amazing,
Mm-hmm.
there is a walkthrough tour already in there on the Google. So it's like a street view, but it's an office view for our office.
Cool.
Nice, no?
Nice.
Yeah,
Are
it's
you
very
still in
easy to make.
Bangsa?
No, we are in, I call it Chowkit. My colleagues disagree. They call it KLCC area, but it's on the borderline of Chowkit. It's the road, Jalan Dore Sami. It's
It's
where
got a
all
lot of
those.
heritage though,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
right?
It's one of those old new buildings
Mm-hmm.
with shop lots downstairs and few
Mm-hmm.
offices upstairs. So it's very nice because the
Nice.
ceiling is very high, so it's good for
Yeah.
creativity and
Amazing lighting.
yeah. And when it rains, it's very loud, but it's very
Yep.
nice because we have windows to the east and to the west, so we have sun all the time in
It
here.
sets the mood as well when it rains, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nice.
which is very
All
nice.
right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna welcome
cool.
everybody. Hi,
Yeah,
everybody.
please.
Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining us. I've got Paulius with us, and we'll be talking about storytelling through the lens. You're on Cult Creative in session, and every week we interview two creative leaders on how they pivot their businesses. They'll be sharing with us your expert advice, practical guidance, and also creative inspiration on how you sort of power through this difficult time. So, yeah, let's start. All right,
Yes, let's
Paulius,
do
tell us
this.
your
Yes.
journey as a photographer and now an entrepreneur.
It all began long, long time ago when I lived in Holland and I studied there. So that's when I started taking photos to send back home to my parents to show how Holland looks like. And I found a passion in it because I thought it's really nice to document the moments. And it passion grew throughout the years. It grew into more serious hobby than the usual journey of the photographer. But I kicked it off, I would say, as a full-time job 2 years ago only.
Mm.
So that's when the company was formed and the team came into the place. And I think the trigger moment was that I felt ready to kickstart on my own. I felt confident that I can not only do the creative work really well, but also I can manage the business side, which, it's way bigger part of running creative business than
Right?
creativity itself. Yeah. So I think it just was a maturity period that came into being. And if anyone is going through that journey, I would say if you're not sure, the advice I can give you, just keep your full-time job until you fully feel ready, but don't wait for too long, because if you wait for too long, you might never kick off. So I would say when you are like 90% sure that you can do this, oops, my phone is falling. Yeah. If you are 87 to 90% sure that you are good to go, I say go. And I remember before I did that, I got one advice from my ex-colleague. She said, if you feel that you're risking a lot, make sure you have savings for a year. So you do your math and you
Mm.
calculate how much money you need a month, multiply it into 12, and once you have that amount saved, then you're good to go uh, on your own journey.
That's a good
And
formula.
yeah, so I think it was a very good formula, and I did exactly that. I did my math, I calculated, and I was like, okay, so I have enough savings to last a year if no jobs will come in. I have enough experience to do the creative job. I have enough experience to manage the clients, so I have nothing to lose. And I thought to myself that I will regret more if I won't do it than if I do it and I will fail. Then at least I will learn something. Yeah, and here
Nice.
we are. And here we are. It's been 2 years. It's been an amazing journey, and it
Has it only
has.
been 2 years?
It's
I've
been
known you for so long. Like
Yeah, but because
you're everywhere.
yeah, it was a freelance job. So it was me still having my full-time job and doing this on the side. But it's been 2 years when I fully run the business, and it's a registered company, that
Nice.
we are paying taxes and we pay salaries. And when the craziness of creativity merges with the craziness of business,
And
and
managing the team as well, right?
and and yeah, and
That's a
managing the
whole different
people.
ball game.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's the most difficult thing in
Yeah.
in any business. It's managing the people and making sure that they are happy. they are productive, they are creative. If it's a creative business, you know, and that they feel a part of the team and part of the community. They feel that they belong. It's not just like I come in the morning, I leave in the evening, and then I forget about it. You know?
That is really important. I totally agree that
Yeah,
the sense of belonging. Tell us
yeah.
about how all is amazing and same same.
So same. It's my passion project, which was influenced very heavily, or I would say not very heavily. It was born in Malaysia because me as a foreigner, I've never lived in such a beautiful country with so many diversity in people, in food, in nature, except the weather. You don't have any diversity here. But anyways, so I really fell in love with the diversity of the people here, and the more friends I made along the way while living here, the more stories, different stories I heard about what is it like to be Malaysian and what is true Malaysian. You know, where is this identity lies in everybody. And to tackle this issue even more, I decided to use my skill as a photography and a visual storytelling to photograph mixed race couples, mixed race people, and mixed race families, and to tell their stories to fellow Malaysians themselves, to remind how cool and beautiful and charming and diverse you all are, and to show it to the world as well, what Malaysia is really like, you know,
Such an
because yeah,
amazing initiative.
yeah, because I believe in a storytelling. I believe in the good things in life, and I think Malaysia is one of those rare countries that everything is amazing, and because of that, we create problems ourselves sometimes.
That's
So,
true.
so, so what I wanted to show, to remind Malaysians that you are truly amazing and gifted to be living here and to
You guys
be
have to check out
citizens.
the magazine. And I mean the issues, man. It's really, really amazing. Israel and I will feature in it, so thank you
Yeah.
for letting us be
Yeah,
part
yeah,
of
and
this.
you are a perfect example of how two different cultures under one passport are united and love is flourishing together, you know?
That's true.
Yeah. So you can check it out on the samesameproject.com. I put all the stories in there and I keep on interviewing people. And actually right now I can show a glimpse. I'm working on another person
Hmm.
that I'm gonna feature soon. Maybe you know who is that? Wait.
Nice.
This is the Farah Ann, the Olympic gymnast.
Of course.
Yeah. So she's mixed Malay Canadian.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, now you do. Yeah, so
Ah,
so we photographed her in the studio, and I decided to take a portrait of hers and feature in the portrait. So the story will come out later today, probably just after our interview when I finish editing the photo. Yeah. So her mom
amazing.
is Canadian and her dad is Malay.
All
How
right,
cool is
awesome.
that? Yeah.
Let's go to what you're good at, okay? You're great at, I mean, everybody knows Paulius, okay? And he has this way of like capturing that raw, authentic emotion through photos. So let's talk about that. So how do you do that? Like, how
Yeah.
do you
So I
bring
think
out that sort of energy through your photos?
you see, I believe photography comes not only to what gear you use or how to use the light, but especially when you photograph the people, it comes what person you are yourself, and you just mirror that energy into the people you photograph, you know? So if you are a photographer that observes more, then your portraits might be, you know, more silent, very creative, very still. If you are the person who is very outspoken and loud all the time, you know that the energy in the model or in the photo will be reflected there. So I guess me being very talkative all the time, not always making a sense, but I always try to bring out the beauty and the energy in the people that I
Yeah,
see in them,
yeah.
you know. I try to show, I try to be also a mirror for themselves because I believe everyone is beautiful, everyone is charming, and sometimes we just need to be reminded that. And when it comes to photography, I have this power to show it to you
Yep.
through my lens. So the tips and tricks would be here is that you have to have a little bit of, at least a little bit of empathy because you have to feel the subjects. You know, you have to read them very quickly and know what are they thinking and which buttons to push in them. That's number one. Number two, you have to put yourself in their mind when you photograph people, and you have to understand that they have no idea what do you see through your viewfinder in the camera. So having said that, you have to tell them how to pose, you know, which background to stand at, because you as a photographer can see that through, and you will calm them down in that way to reassuring that A, you know what you're doing, and B, you're trying to bring up their best side.
Nice.
So I guess, yeah, just to sum up is that you have to have an empathy. You have to read the people if you are people's photographer. You are mirroring them and they are mirroring you as well. And that's when the magic happens. And I believe that uh, every photographer in their work is a combination of the things they are as a person, experiences they have had, you know, the things they believe in, the things they like. It all reflects in how you shoot, how you edit. So there is no right and wrong in here. It's very personal craft and it's very personal taste. I guess the trick, if you want to go commercial, you just have to read people better. Majority of the people, you have to read the majority of the people better and be very versatile and flexible in bringing the best parts out.
Got it.
Yeah.
So let's go
That's it.
back to quarantine and MCO. How have you been doing and how have you been keeping creative in isolation?
Well, first of all, I just want to say I'm very grateful that when this happened, I found myself in a situation where I can slow down and relax, not worry too much about how to survive. And I was thinking about it, and I think it's thanks to the decision I've made in the past that I ended up being where I am during this MCO. So it was really fantastic time for me. I've been waiting for this time for a very, very long time just to slow down and relax. And I was thinking about it's like, you know, after the long, long busy day, which has been life, you
Yep.
just come home and you have the time to just like unwind, chill, without feeling guilty that you're not doing something because everyone is in the same position. So, so having said that, what I and the team have been working on and what we are proud of, I think we just there were a lot of projects we were thinking of doing during this period, not during this period in our life. So we were wanting to sell prints, we wanted to make T-shirts, you know, we wanted to connect with our audience better, but we never have had the time like most of the people who work in the company. And this time gave us time to try those ideas and to see how they work. So the things that what we are proud of is, for example, we did a newsletter which helped us to connect to our clients and our audience on a more personal level. We started selling photo prints, which also surprisingly went really well, and we found out what people like and what can they buy. So it gave us a bit of the insight in where we can venture in the future. Third thing we have done, we ran this promo, the portrait promo, where idea was to generate some liquidity for the company. So we sell the studio portrait photography promo. We get some money into the company, and then we execute it later on after CMCO is over. That also did work well, and it gave us insights into what if in the future we can do, let's say, wedding photography packages, you know, and people can pre-book them. So how does that all system work, you know, like the emails of confirmation, you know, the money coming in and all the gifts and thank you letters, that gave us a good insight. And the last thing, which I'm very proud of, is the whole team got to experience Instagram Live, and they interviewed, everyone in the team interviewed. Yeah.
I've seen some.
Yeah, and everyone in the team interviewed different people, and they could express themselves and also ask questions of the other photographers and creatives they admire, which I think gave a good insight for the audience what our team is like, and it gave our team also exposure, you know, to show themselves to the public.
It
So
gives
yeah.
a lot of the people behind the photographer. Usually, like, photographers are always like behind the scenes, you know, you guys let your art shine, right? And now you're actually telling the backstory.
Exactly.
Actually, you know, you should share with everyone about your project at Rex KL.
Oh yeah. So actually, yesterday we were doing this project. We just wrapped it up. So I was thinking, because there are no jobs right now, but creativity is burning inside. So, and I like Malaysia and the communities in Malaysia. So I was thinking, why don't I go to Rex KL, talk to Shin, and photograph all the people who work in Rex. An idea was this: we have this huge building, which used to be a cinema in Petaling Street. And it's iconic for the older generation, and now it's becoming iconic to the younger generation.
Yeah.
Just the purpose of the building is different, what's inside it, but the building outside is still the same. So what I wanted to show is that how diverse and beautiful community inside one building in Malaysia can be, how diverse the businesses can operate side to side, shoulder to shoulder, inside this historical building, which used to be a cinema, and now it's becoming the cultural center of everything.
Yep.
So in order to execute that idea, what I did with my colleagues is that we took this background, which is a transparent, colorful background, and we use it like a photo studio backdrop. We set up photo studio light, and we photographed every single owner of the shop or the restaurant inside the restaurant or inside the shop. So idea was that you have this photo of the person inside the little shop or the place they work in. And if you put all the photos together, it will look very colorful and diverse, but it still doesn't give you idea that you don't know the connection among those people that are photographed unless you read the story. But because nobody reads the stories, how I connected it visually, if you don't read the story, but you still want to understand that all these people connected somehow, we use the background. So the background was that colorful one. So in every photo, they will stand behind this colorful background, but within a different environment. And that's how visually it will all connect with each other. Yeah. So the photos should come out sometime next week. We are editing them right now.
Where can we
and then
see
you will
this?
see the result. We're going to put it on our Instagram. Rexcale going to put it on the Instagram, and also going to share with all the vendors we photographed. So I think you will see it on Instagram.
That is so cool.
But yeah, so I think it's what Malaysia has. What I really love to celebrate is this community sense within a nation. You know, Malaysians are very outgoing people, are very connected people. They can't live without each other. Whereas in the West, it's more individualistic. You know, for example, if you take an apartment, someone has, like in a family of 4, everyone has their own room, right?
Yep.
In Malaysia, in a family of 4, everyone has their own car, but they all live in one big house, right? So and you all have long houses as well, and like generations of families live in one house, and I think that translates into the society as well. So that also I think was the impulse of me for me to do the Rexcale story, because it's a big family under one roof.
That's so great to hear, man.
Yeah,
I love your point of view. You make us feel like, man, we should appreciate each other more, and also
it's okay.
That all this change and everything starts from your home, and it starts from your own self. So okay, how does
sometimes I think you just
go on.
I just wanted to say that sometimes it takes an outsider to show the beauty. It's like you decorate your house and you get used to it, and then when you invite the guests to come in, guests will start admiring and complimenting your house, and then you realize, actually, my house is really nice.
Nice.
So that's
Thanks,
man.
How is Thanks for the good vibes always. Okay. Okay. Let's go back to the questions. How does a photographer document one of the most important shared human experiences in our recent history? So you know that there's all this happening right now, and how do you capture human connection in the age of coronavirus?
So I think during this period, we became physically distant, but emotionally even more connected than we were before. Because I think eventually we have had a time to sit down and figure out what is important for us and which connections really matter to us. And we started calling our families more often, we started calling our friends without a reason. So with the technology that we are using right now, which actually was invented to bring us closer but brought us further apart, it actually now brought us close again. So using this technology, the phones we are using right now, I think, in my opinion, that was the best way to document all of this, is through the way I don't know if you've seen all over internet, photographers started doing these FaceTime photo shoots.
Yep.
Yeah, so there were, from my observation, because I follow a lot of photographers all around the world, and there were 2 types of photographers who were documenting this human connection through it. So there was one who photographed a lot of female models, And that was their journey and their story. And there were other photographers who did incredibly beautiful artistic portraits of everybody around the world. And there is this one photographer, I saved his website just to tell you. His name is Nikola Taminjic on Instagram. And what he did, I'll show you very quickly. If you can see, he photographed these portraits, you see, of the people. Yeah, and can you believe this was done through the FaceTime? Wait, yeah. See? So this I think was really beautiful because he was in his apartment in New York. Oops, trying to show, yeah. And he just would FaceTime the couples or the people, and he would photograph them like that. How cool is that, no?
That's so nice.
Yeah, and you see, I believe that when you are a creative person and you are burning with passion to keep on creating, there is no stopping for you. Even if the physical distance is far and you're not allowed to be physically present in order to create something, creative people will always find a way to express their ideas, their opinions, and to let their passion burn. So yeah, so I would say that people used the technology to bring each other closer. That was meant to bring them closer and create these portraits like I just showed you.
Nice.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. For us, I mean, we're event designers, right? We thrive on that whole experience of human connection and like seeing the faces of people attending our events and then like them immersing in our installations. So even for us, we also feel like this has definitely made us closer, and that when we're all ready to do events again, that sort of human connection, that people are longing for that and people really will appreciate that even more next time.
I hope
So
it will last.
That's our take, yeah.
I hope it will last, you know, that feeling that we have right now, because we human beings have very short-term memories, you know.
I have faith in the humanity. Okay,
yes, same.
Any sort of creative crushes that you have in the photography world?
You mean my idols in the creative world? Yeah, so definitely number one will be all my team. You know, they always keep on inspiring me.
That's a good answer,
whatever they do. Yeah, whatever they do. Yeah, because we are one, you know, we spend a lot of time with each other. So I think it's very important to be surrounded by the people you believe in and they believe in you and, you know, keep on inspiring each other. Secondly, of course, there are a lot of social media people online that I followed and I watched their Insta lives and everything. So the ones, if I can mention, there is this photographer called Bronx, also known as Last Night's Party from LA. He's been doing a really amazing job for creatives to inspire them and to keep their passion burning by posting different things, by creating this course for photographers called, I forgot what is the name, but yeah, if you Google Last Night's Party, you'll find it there. Mystery School, it was called Mystery School. Yeah, and bunch of other people, but what I want to comment on your question about these idols that I believe in and that I follow, during this time, it was so cool because everyone did the Insta Live. So it's like you have this god of whatever you believe in, like photography or videography or you know, events, and then bam, they're doing live. So you can tune in and you have a front row seat right in front of them, listening to their ideas. And to add on top of this experience, you can literally ask them a question. And if your question is really good, which better be good, they will answer it. You know, when on earth, other than that, you will be able to be so close to them and get the inside of how their brain works. You know, I was following the sculptors online as well, and when they give the insights, what is the philosophy behind the sculpture they do, you know, or how do they see the art trends evolving during this period. It was so interesting, and it's not like you're sitting in a hall full of audience and you're somewhere in a back seat and you're browsing your phone. No, even your phone is locked. Like you can't browse while you watch Insta Live, which is perfect, you know. So you're like your full attention is
100% concentration.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that another one will be the person that I really admire and I look up into will be Afiq Omar from Colossal Photos in Singapore, because he's doing similar things what we do here in Malaysia. He has a team of photographers, very talented photographers, very diverse photographers, and he's been going also through this journey where, you know, events stopped, his team also stopped doing work, and like we were sharing a lot of things. How do we, overcome this, and what do we do? How do we share the creativity with the team? How do we inspire them and keep them active?
Got it.
Yeah.
What sort of advice can you give to young photographers coming into the industry?
Aha, this one I wrote something I remember in my notes because I knew you're gonna
Wow,
ask me. Yeah. So
serious
okay.
stuff.
So for this one, I want to tell the young photographers who are coming. So the journey begins like this. You start doing something, people notice you, you think you're really good, and your ego starts to grow. And there is nothing more dangerous in creativity than ego because it's going to kill you. It's like this phrase I heard, the most dangerous pilot is the pilot who flew 200 hours because they flew just enough to think that they know what they're doing, but they have no idea what they're doing. So same with the photography is that when you go out there, start doing things, and someone notices you, you think you became the best, or you are like really really good, but you have no idea how long the journey is and that it never stops.
Yep.
So my advice would be strip yourself of the ego, or be aware that it will come to you, and try to push it aside because it will kill your creativity, and wake up every morning with the same passion, regardless of how long you've been doing photography. Wake up every morning with the same passion as if it's your first day to photograph something that you are really, really excited about. And then truly it will shine through your work.
That's amazing advice.
Yeah, so
For me,
that's
I
that's what I
always
would tell. Yeah.
tell myself to humble hustle. Like you just
Yeah,
hustle and you just be humble, and your work and your success will show on its own. Like you don't have to
exactly.
brag. You just hustle quietly and you just be understated. And being understated is what shines right now, lah. Not
Yeah.
about being loud and all.
Yeah, let
That's really
let your
great
work
advice.
talk. Yeah, exactly. Let your work talk. Don't put an ego on it. Let other people interpret it the way they want. Do it for the good of others. And there is nothing better that when you make other people happy, you will feel happy
Yep.
yourself. That's given. That's somehow how we all operate, the whole humanity. It's just do good to others and others will do good to you. And
I
that's it.
totally agree,
Yeah,
man.
very
I
simple.
tell my team, do what you love and love what you do, and people
Yeah,
will see that. That will shine through your work and that will shine
yeah.
through you. Lah.
Yeah, like Nadira says, like humble hustle. Yes, Nadira.
Yeah.
Yes, humble hustle.
Okay,
Yeah.
what have you learned as an entrepreneur through this whole experience?
I've learned creativity, how little time is left for creativity when you start your own business. It's all those charts that we as a photographer see online about, the 10% is photography and then the rest is just like hustling. It's actually true. I found out that. But what grew inside me is that when you are a freelancer photographer, or when you work for the company and have a full-time job and you're doing photography on the side, in comparison to when you go to do it full-time and run your own company, your brain sort of goes to next level. It's like you were at school when you were working for someone, and then when you started working for yourself, you went to university. It's like the way you start seeing the world, the way you compute the possibilities that you should take on, the way you see the jobs that come to you, it's not anymore about it's like, oh, I'll do it because I have time on Sunday. No, it's just that your brain levels up and you go into the different mode of thinking.
Yeah.
And that was really exciting because, sorry, what would happen is that I would meet my friends who, let's say, are still freelancing, and I would talk to them and I would see their struggles, and I would be like, oh yeah, but this is so simple to sort it out right now, or it sounds such a simple struggle when you're a freelancer. So when you run the company and you hear it from freelancer. But for you, the problems you have are like completely different. For example, how to calculate the taxes properly right now, or like how to do the audit for all your inventory you have. And it's like
How to chase for payments.
how to chase for payments and still be nice to people,
Yes.
and how to chase for payments and understand the reasons why the payment's not coming in. It's
Yep.
not always that the people don't want to pay you.
Small
Maybe they
business
have.
problems, man.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine we have these problems right now, but
Yeah.
the more we will grow, where our
Yeah.
brain will go even further. It's good. I think it's an amazing journey, and I love
Yeah.
this constant learning, every day. So
Every day is a
let's
new
yeah.
day, man.
Yeah. Every day is another
Every
challenge.
day is not the
Yeah.
same, right? I
Yeah.
guess that's really the life of an entrepreneur. Like you're just riding this wave
Yeah.
and you're just going up and down, but you just have to keep riding.
But no regrets. I see no regrets at
No
all, no matter
regrets.
how difficult it is. It's every day I wake up and I'm like, I chose this path. I'm responsible for it, and it's up to me where I want to take it, and that's the best feeling.
That's fantastic to hear.
Yeah.
All right, we're at our last
Cool.
question. What
Yeah, sure.
brings you hope in the future?
What brings me hope in the future? Ah, I
Hmm,
wrote the answer to this one too.
you've
And you know
got
what
answer.
I so yeah, so when I saw this question, I said it's a very good question, and I want to tie it to creativity. I believe that the human will and the creativity to overcome the obstacles will always triumph or win no matter what faces us. And I think it's very obvious in everything what's happening in the world right now and how we as a human beings reacting it. We are born problem solvers,
Yep,
you know. So, and that gives me hope, is that the more creative people are trying to solve the problems that we are facing in life, the better our future will be, you know. So it's
I
like
totally agree.
the will of creativity will always win, and
Yep,
it gives me a hope
yep.
for the better future.
I'm gonna add on to
Yeah.
that. I feel like creative people, there's some sort of like resilient, like we just won't die. Like that energy and that passion that we have,
Yeah.
which is somehow crazy resilient. We're very
Yeah.
versatile, and we will survive, lah. And I really agree with you that now people really need to shift their mindsets from just being technical, being logical. We need to have more creative problem solvers for the future,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Totally agree with that. So yeah, I think it's the creative people. If you give the freedom to the creative people and you put them in a room with actually rational people who can, you know, have a discussion with the creative
Yep.
people, the outcome will be fantastic.
The output,
But
yeah,
if it's
you're
just,
right.
yeah, if it's just one of them solving the problem, it might not be that good. But I think the creativity and logic combined together, it's a magic formula for any solution.
I totally agree. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
No
Where can
worries.
people find you online?
Oh, they
Any
can
final
find us.
messages as well?
Oh, yeah. So I just want to say thank you, everyone, for your time that you devoted to listen to both of us talking in here. I hope you got something useful from that. And yeah, you can find me online on my personal Instagram, which is very difficult to spell, but it's Paulius Tanunas. Or you just follow on All is Amazing, and you will see all the
That's all.
work, yeah, all the creative work we're doing all the time.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much,
Thank you
Paul,
so
and
much.
send my
Thank you so
love to the
much as well.
wifey.
Okay, we will. I
Enjoy
will.
your like
Yeah.
chill time, your reset, reflection. Enjoy that with the wife, and
You too.
yeah, I
You
look
too.
forward to
Enjoy the
seeing
family
great
time.
things. I look forward to the project with Rex KL.
Yes, you will see next week. Hopefully, it's coming out.
Nice. Thank you so much for
Okay.
everybody who's
Stay
joining in.
healthy.
We'll see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. again. We've got how to prepare a good financial future. So I think that's really important for all of us right now.
Very good.
So
Very good. Very important.
join us if you're free.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool.
Bye, everybody.
Okay. Bye. 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 Take care. Take
Bye.
care. Bye.